During the October of 2011, a YouTuber who goes by the name of Mellow Bird experienced one of, if not the most unsettling nights of his entire life. Now we have actually peeked into the life of Mellow several times before, and his experiences in the paranormal are starting to become a regular occurrence, hence his name continuously coming up here. The following video was filmed late in the evening, just after Mellow was watching television, and he started to record because of some noises.
Stopped again. Typical. Okay. Alright. Guess in the bathroom. I'll just fall off the garden now. Garden time, I think. Okay. I'm gonna go hide over in the corner when nothing can get to me. No, I don't know. I'm gonna go in the garden. Garden corner. Oh, garden. I should go garden. Garden.
All around his place, there were extremely unnatural instances, and Mellow, wanting to capture the moment for his now established community, followed the activity everywhere it went. A ghost as active as this one is not common, and Mellow had no clue how rare his experience truly was, and he is very fortunate he didn't frustrate the spirit, because that would have only gone one way, downhill. Cameras are one of the greatest and most advanced things that humankind has managed to make, and it is strange to think that something capable of capturing moments could be created with resources solely from our planet. Why am I mentioning this, you may wonder? Well, there are tons of pieces of footage across the world captured using these devices, but there is one niche that isn't discussed enough: the paranormal, and that is exactly what this next clip, filmed using a webcam, was able to do. Somehow, not only did a banana collapse to the floor, but the chair also took it upon itself to move, which essentially proved that this wasn't a natural incident. After checking the footage after receiving a movement notification, Gracie rushed back home and investigated the entire area to be more than certain some sort of animal or intruder didn't cause this. As expected, nothing was discovered. The following video is a piece from Dark Path Scary, and they took it upon themselves to explore a house renowned for being haunted. They chose to take this mission because on their channel, they look into all sorts of haunted environments, making it the perfect fit. However, they had no idea just how strong the spirit of this house was. Typically, on an adventure, the team would be fortunate to come off with 2 pieces of footage, but these guys managed to escape with tons of ghostly events on camera, and today, I am going to show you one of them. Have a watch.
Is that you? If there are any ghostly spirits in this house, talk No way, dude.
Dude.
No way. Did that piano just seriously play by itself?
Do it again. Do it again. Do it again.
Oh, dude, we should get out of this. Oh my gosh.
Out, man. Holy shit. Hold on. We came here to do this. We're actually getting...
The fact that the piano played once was enough to convince the crew that the house was definitely haunted, but when it continuously slammed down on the keys, it came off as seriously aggressive. This is why, despite their long experience, the Dark Path Scary team ran in fear of their lives until they were in the safe zone that we know as daylight. Andrea was a brave woman and was known in her local town for never being afraid. I was unable to find out where she garnered such a reputation, but in order to obtain one, she must have faced some common fears, at a bare minimum. However, despite her status of being brave and fearless, what happened in the footage that I am about to show you captured her at her lowest point. She was running. If that doesn't tell you that this next clip was terrifying, then I don't know what will.
Estoy parando en esta casa que tengo acá atrás, pero de noche escucho golpes en esta casa que está acá. Ahí. Me quiero acercar a ver si veo a alguien o a ver si veo algo. Creo que está abandonada. No tiene autos, no veo gente, pero a la noche se escuchan golpes. Me voy a acercar todo lo más pueda para poder verla. Es esta casa que está acá, miren. Voy a ir mejor por el frente de la casa, a ver. Tiene también esta casilla que está acá, pero está cerrada. Escucho ruidos. Me vuelvo para mi casa, chicos. No sé qué pasa ahí, no lo sé.
The tree was in perfect health, and the branch snapped by itself, which does not normally happen. Furthermore, Andrea claimed to have heard breathing from the tree as she ran away, which made it pretty clear that someone or something caused the branch to fall. Now you are probably thinking some sort of wild animal did this, and that's completely normal, because I did too. However, when she panned the camera up the tree, it was evident that nothing was there except for her. According to statistics, dolls are the most likely object to be haunted by a spirit by an absolute landslide, and humans have no idea why this is the case. One of the most logical theories is that ghosts, which were probably human in their physical form, crave the feeling of being in a human body again, and using a doll is the closest thing to the real deal, but again, that's just a theory. Going on to the topic of our upcoming clip, a mother of two called Sir had come home from work when her youngest daughter came up to her and explained that she received a gift. After prompting her daughter to explain who gave her the gift, and why though, she discovered a terrifying backstory. Before we dive into that though, let's watch the horrible thing that the doll did.
Esta cosa se está... Mira, mira, fíjate, va para el cuarto de la niña. ¿Te das cuenta? Mírala, va para el cuarto de la niña. ¿Qué tienes, muñeca? Tengo nervios de tocarla. Muñeca, ¿qué tienes? ¿Por qué lloras? No llores. ¿Qué tienes? ¿Qué quieres? A ver, dime, ¿qué quieres? ¿Qué es lo que te pasa, muñeca? ¿Estás enojada? ¿Qué tienes, pues? ¿Qué tienes? ¿Por qué lloras de esta forma? ¿Qué tienes? ¿Qué vas a buscar al cuarto de mi hija? ¿Qué se te perdió allá? ¿Nada se te perdió en el cuarto de ella? ¿Qué quieres? ¿Por qué haces todo esto? Desde que llegaste aquí a esta casa, todo ha estado así contigo. ¿Qué es lo que realmente quieres? A ver, dime, ¿quién eres tú? Responde.
Now the doll was battery powered, but after checking the back, there were no batteries inside of it. It made absolutely no sense that it would move by itself, but when the mother heard the lore from her daughter, it all made sense. On her way home from school, she and her father went under a sketchy bridge to get home faster, when an elderly lady on the streets, presumably homeless, offered them the doll. Feeling sympathetic, the duo accepted and gave the lady some food. This is when the puzzle came together. The lady had passed away, and this was the doll she used to possess. In the upcoming video, a woman called Madison was fast asleep when she was awoken by some strange noises coming from outside the door. At first, she had no idea what could have been causing these noises, but after listening in closely, she came to a pretty accurate conclusion. It took place at 3 in the morning and frightened the poor woman for weeks. Have a watch.
I'm not gonna lie, guys, I'm kind of scared shitless right now. It's currently 3:17 a.m. I got up to go pee, and now I'm scared to open the door again because I'm hearing footsteps. Let me see if I can get it on tape where y'all can hear it. Did you hear it? What the fuck is that? Oh my gosh, I'm scared. I'm scared. Y'all go first. I'm going back to bed.
As you can tell, the noise was footsteps, and Madison was adamant that her children were asleep at the time. After hearing the noises, she decided to open the door to be certain that her children were not the cause, and unsurprisingly, no one was on the other side. Furthermore, just to prove the direness of the situation to a further degree, after ending the video, she went to check on her daughter, and she was fast asleep. Madison was pleased that she was able to get rest, but at the same time, scared that it was confirmed she had met a spirit. The man in the next piece of footage is called Zark, and it is safe to say that if you have watched this channel before, you will have likely seen him before. This is because his story is everlasting, and he can't seem to get enough of paranormal activity. But anyways, I will summarize his story. He and his family had been going through a ton of paranormal events and eventually came to the conclusion that moving out would be the best idea. Almost with immediate effect, they relocated to a new home in Dubai rather than India, but they had no idea that this was only the beginning of their paranormal adventures.
I think I'm gonna go crazy very soon because I'm hearing stuff and I don't recognize whether it's happening real or not, because whenever I record videos, when I play it back, all I get to know is that there's no sound in the video. I just woke up hearing that the TV is on. It's almost gonna be 3 very soon. By 4:30 I need to wake up again. Got no sleep. Can you hear it, guys? Because I don't know whether I'm dreaming or I just tried to sleep for a while and again the sound woke me up. Is this real? I just laid down in my bed for 15 minutes and this sound started happening again. You know, one thing I always remember is like people ask me, why is the home always dark? I'll show you something. You see? The light switch, all 3 are on. I usually keep them on because normally during the haunting hours the lights go off. See? If you go to my previous videos, you will see all these buttons, all these switches, they work for the chandeliers and the lights over here. Plus, you see the kitchen light is on, but there's no light. I'll show you something. See, the restroom, nothing works. But rest everything works in the house. That's the most strangest part. As you can see, the TV switch, the light is on. See? You can see the camera light is on. Even the switches. See the red light. Even this. See, the internet light is on. So everything works at home except the lights during the haunting hours. I'll show you something as well. You can see this? All the appliances work at home except the lights during the haunting hours. I'm sorry, there's nothing much in the fridge because it's only me now. All I just eat nowadays is just croissant and I have some drinks. What's happening again? guys, there was a malfunction. As you can see, all these lights are on except for this one. I hope it doesn't work now. I better remove this. Maybe there's a switch problem. I don't know, guys. I think I'm losing my mind. Once I look back at this video only, I can confirm whether that's working or not. Fuck it, I'm not going near it again.
Just like their old house, it was riddled with paranormal activity, and they had no clue why the hauntings continued. With the information they had as a fact, though, they just assumed it was haunting them rather than their old house, and they needed to sort it out for real this time. However, they did get one more piece of footage that night, which I want to show you.
That's very... I just woke up and there was some sound over here. But it's very strange that lights are on now. Normally there's no activities during the night, but I could hear some sound. Oh God. The haunting hours begin. Oh, Jesus. The door just opened.
From strange noises and opening doors all the way to footsteps running at him, Zark could barely stay conscious during this situation based on fear alone. It's safe to say that his hyperventilation under his bed sheets were justified, and all of us would have reacted similarly. Subscribe so you don't miss the rest of Zark's story. In the following video, Amy was minding her own business sorting out some paperwork when a major disturbance stood in her way. This disturbance was so unexpected that she referred to it as a trauma event, but I will let you form your own opinion on such a bold statement. Take a look.
Okay guys, I'm in here again. Just put some clothes in the dryer. I have all the lights on because I get freaked out when I'm down here alone, but I heard something coming from, I think it was the bathroom. It sounded like something slid or maybe like a knocking sound or something like that. It sounded creepy. my god. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. There's nobody in here, guys. It's just me. Literally just me. Okay, upstairs I go. Bye-bye.
Strangely, Amy heard a banging sound coming from the bathroom and decided that she must act upon it. She went to investigate the bathroom, and for a good 10 seconds, nothing happened. However, this grace period, if you will, did not last. Moments after entering the room, a drawer slid open without any contact, and this frightened Amy to the extreme, as she had never experienced anything paranormal. It is safe to say that this incident left an imprint on the victim, and they would never forget what happened. Roland with me is a common name brought up on this channel, and this is simply because of the sheer amount of paranormal experiences he has documented over the years. He is one of those YouTubers who visit haunted locations for videos, but in more recent times, the haunted locations visited him. Let me explain. Due to him being around spirits for so much of his time, some of them have attached to him and gone as far as coming to his home. This has led to his house being riddled with paranormal activity, and he continues to supply evidence to prove that. Here's an example.
That knife just came out of there. All right, that sink, the faucet was spinning 360, but I'm more worried about that knife right there. Right there. This was all the way in, and it came back out. And I had just put this outside for a couple days out in the backwoods. Is there a spirit here that just moved that knife? Can you please move it back? I hear something. Move the knife back. Shit. Okay.
After the proposal from Roland, the spirit complied and decided to put the knife that it moved back into its storage. Roland was quite pleased that the spirit listened to him because it meant that he still had some authority over his own house, but things would not end for him, and you will continue seeing him on this channel, so subscribe. On October 15th of 2019, Marcus was alone in his store when he made a shocking discovery. Marcus purchased the building roughly 4 years ago, and a good point to make is that nothing strange ever happened there. The store operated perfectly, with the employee welfare standards being described as through the roof. But all good things must come to an end, and this was certainly the case for what was meant to be a peaceful store. The footage you are about to see was caught at 2 p.m., so it was not a timing that you would expect to see videos of this manner coming from. Regardless of what time it was though, it was just as spooky as the usual ghost sightings, and here is why.
Cuenta que... ¡Ay, pues! ¡Hijo de la chingada! ¿Ya vieron? Ay, a ver si quedó grabado eso. ¿Vieron cómo se aventó la puerta? Esas son las cosas que pasan aquí a veces. Ahí está la Moana. Ahí está la Moana y es lo que les digo, se avientan las cosas. Ah, pero no está tirada ni nada. Hijo de su madre, trae la piel chinita, No, pues no. Está cabrón. Esperaba que me hubieran hecho una broma. No, anda, pues vámonos mejor.
For some reason, the spirit was repetitively opening the door and swinging it closed at maximum power. This obviously made a lot of noise and summoned Marcus from another room to come and check that everything was okay. It definitely was not. Without cutting the camera, he approached the door that was being controlled in order to catch a glance of what was behind it. To his dismay, there was nothing at all. The upcoming clip was captured by Daryl, a middle-aged office worker who despised his job. He had grown up always dreaming of becoming a successful business owner, but despite working hard for this, a change in the market left his idea to rot. This forced poor Daryl into regular employment, where he was paid a below-average wage to take calls all day, and as I previously stated, this was not fun for him. One fateful day, though, at 11 a.m., Daryl had the surprise of his life, and no matter how hard he tried to decipher what had caused it, he could not. Feel free to help him in the comments after watching this.
Some crazy paranormal shit going on. It's just me. There's no one else around. There's no freaking strings.
Absurdly, the computer powered itself up, but this could have easily been pinned as being an issue with the general computer. However, as if the spirit knew that this was not enough to prove its presence to Daryl, it started to tamper with the cabinets, which was 100% the tipping point that made Daryl fear for his life. It is safe to say he knew that it was there and was not a fan of that idea. In the last video on this channel, we looked into the life of Jake and Faye, a father and daughter who had a very strong bond, but were facing the hardships of a haunting. In case you missed that content, Jake deployed cameras all around the house, including in Faye's room, so that he could pin down what was causing a strange feeling he had. He had this sense that something was wrong but didn't quite know what. That was until the cameras caught some movement in Faye's room. This follow-up clip took place 2 days after that one, and this time, the spirit made sure that they could meet it firsthand.
Do you hear the footsteps? I know y'all hear that, right? Do you hear it? You hear the footsteps?
Where's the steps? Are the steps over there?
It sounds like it's coming from over there.
It's over there. Because of the table. Uh-oh.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I know you saw that, right?
I just need to come with it. Need to come with it.
Jeez, I know y'all saw that.
Need to come with it. Does it come with work?
Can you move it again?
Move again.
It's all out of focus now. Well, the footsteps are still going. Right when I walked by, it knocked the cup off too. Can you make it move again?
Move again. Does it come with steps? Let us see the steps.
Oh, I'll keep y'all posted.
The step is gone.
As odd as this may have been, they both heard footsteps roaming the room, and eventually the cup fell from the tabletop. This literally made 0 sense and left them both terrified, especially Faye, who was way too young for something like this. A common occurrence that we seem to always come across on this channel are ghost hunters paying the price for partaking in such a dangerous job. These hunters spend hours of their day interacting with the paranormal entities of the world, and this would be enough to drive most people insane, sometimes even going too far for the hunters themselves to handle. The video you are about to see is an example of a ghost hunter who met a spirit that went a little bit too crazy for him to cope. However, due to the extremely high pay rates that this job offered, the poor man continued onwards, and this was what happened.
السلام عليكم مرقرو دا بكيتشن كناس ومكانا عبارة الله غستي دي خطا سوغوري يا الله خير يا الله خير استغفر الله الله أكبر يا الله خير يا الله خير يا الله خير وغوري خمر قرو يا الله خير يا الله خير تاسو مو وجنون غوري كورتي پيريان دي خدا والدي دا وسه دو غورا خپور تیر تیر بار کلی خان يا الله خير يا الله خير يا الله خير استغفر الله الله أكبر وغوري خان يا الله خير يا الله خير قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس يا الله خير سوكي ركا سوكي يا الله خير يا الله خير يا الله خير غوريها يا الله خير سوكي ركا يا الله خير يا الله خير استغفر الله الله أكبر يا الله خير سوكي ركا يا الله خير يا الله خير يا الله خير.
Strangely, all sorts of objects took up lives of their own and started dancing around the room as if they had attended a disco. It was a rare occurrence for spirits to be powerful enough to move so many objects at once, so the ghost hunter instantly knew that he had a bad entity on his hands. Not that this stopped him on his mission, he needed to pay the bills somehow. For the next 10 or so minutes, the ghost hunter, who was named Ali for your information, did not come across anything out of the ordinary, and was moments away from calling this task a day. Just as he turned around though, and started finding his way out of the building, he heard some banging from behind and had to investigate further.
لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله الله أكبر.
Everything about this closet was moving by itself, including the objects on top, which again showcased just how strong the spirit in question happened to be. Unlike the last clip, where Ali ignored the fear though, he could not help himself and ran back onto the corridor where he felt the tiniest bit more secure, but not as much as he would have wished. This led him to call it quits and run out of the building entirely. However, the ghost wanted to spook him one more time before he went on his travels.
Assalamu alaikum مرګرو دا هغه کور دی تاسو ته چې ما وی په دې کې پیریان دي پوه شولې تاسو بنن په خپل سترګو بیا وینئ یو ځل ښه دې کې هر ټیم پیریان دي پوه شولې دا وګورئ ښه لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله الله أكبر بسم الله الله أكبر بسم الله الله أكبر بسم الله الله أكبر بسم الله يا الله خير يا الله خير مرګور تاسو وینئ يا الله خير يا الله خير يا الله خير الله أكبر يا الله خير الله أكبر بسم الله الله أكبر يا الله خير يا الله يا الله خير.
Just as Ali exited the building, some more paranormal stuff started to happen, and it was starting to get a little bit out of hand. When he arrived home, he documented all of these sightings into a folder for the client who paid him to search the property and received his cash, although he openly stated it was not worth it whatsoever. Jackson was downstairs all by himself, and bear in mind that this is a very important detail for the next clip. Jackson and his family were an innocent bunch, and never really found themselves getting involved in anything troublesome. The house was just about as spiritually clean as you could get, with several holy books and crosses dotted around, as Jackson and his fiancée were both huge believers in a god. I bet if they knew what was about to come for them, they would have prayed for his help though, because the following video was bad, very bad.
Alright,
So that right there is my basement door, right? I'm downstairs by myself. It's like 4:53 in the morning, and I just started hearing that. I have no fucking idea what it is, but I'm down here by myself. Everybody's sleeping, just me. Ain't the first time I heard this shit either.
Jackson was home alone when a knocking sound started playing at the basement door, and he did not like this at all. Even while he was documenting it, the banging would not stop, and it seemed that whatever was in there was desperate to be released once and for all. Fortunately, this sound did eventually stop, and Jackson was given the privilege to be happy again, as his entire family had just arrived home. Little did he know that they were his good omen in this situation, because the next time they decided to leave the house, things did not end well for him.
Alright, so I was hearing that knocking again, right? Except this time it's coming from that wall right there, which is my downstairs bathroom. And after a while I started hearing tapping on the bathroom door as well. So, what else? Record. See if anything else happens. I mean, I hear the shit every night. It's... what the fuck? Okay, that's never happened before. Now I have to go check it out, otherwise you guys are gonna be like, oh, it's probably somebody in there. Let's go see. I'll show you guys right now. Ain't nobody in this right here. And it is empty. Yeah, no, that one was weird. That's never actually happened before. That's new, at least.
This time round, the noises came from the bathroom, which made no sense considering nobody had opened the basement to let its contents be free. Whatever this was had free reign, and Jackson needed to do something to stop it. His story will definitely continue in the next video on this channel, so stay tuned. Roland With Me is a YouTuber well known for his haunting videos that gather views of over 3,000 on a consistent basis. He may be past his peak, but his content is just the same as before, and it sends chills down the spines of his audience consistently. The video you are about to watch was taken in his actual house, which was rather different compared to his usual paranormal location videos. He would typically venture out into the unknown to discover what he could, but for once, this video brought the suffering to his doorstep. This first clip was captured towards the beginning of his recording and would have scared any man enough to make them scream. However, Roland is one brave person, and he handled this quite maturely. Take a look.
Clock. Let me know. And why are you messing with my clock? Let me know that you are here. Show me some kind of sign. Do something. Did you just make the clock move? Alright, Alright, what the fuck was that? Alright, that clock just literally moved. Did you just make the clock move? Show me a sign. Do something. Holy fuck. Alright, that time, holy shit. Alright.
For some strange reason, the clock started going crazy for a split second before returning back to its normal state as if nothing happened at all. This left Roland not in a state of fear, but a state of utter disbelief as he stood there staring at the clock, almost as if he expected it to move again. Despite this crazy sighting though, Roland eventually became unfazed and decided to search the rest of his house for crazy stuff, and eventually he came across this.
There's someone upstairs! Alright. I swear it sounded like that f***ing chair just moved. Are you moving the chair? Okay. Alright. Why are you moving the chair? Are you trying to tell me something? Is there a reason why you're moving the chair in here? And messing with the clock? Can you speak to me? Can you let me know if you're happy or sad? Can you let me know?
Somehow the chair moved by itself, and this time Ronald was much more curious. It was very rare for a spirit to comply with him so easily, which took him aback, and understandably so. Camera-shy spirits are surprisingly very common, despite the endless amount of clips we see online of them doing whatever they want in front of one. These spirits will do everything in their power to torment somebody, and have the audacity to stop whenever they pull out a camera. This is horrible because it leads the victim to having no proof, and they cannot tell anyone without being deemed a psychopath. This was almost the harsh reality for Jack. Jack was certain that his house was haunted, as his last few weeks had been riddled with paranormal activity. Despite this, whenever he pulled out a camera, nothing would happen. He made it his mission to capture this spirit in the act, and would not stop until it gave up on trying to stay hidden, and eventually he succeeded.
Bro, our fridge just opened. We're trying to waste electricity. Hopefully we'll get some, because every time something happens I can barely ever catch it. I swear I just seen something move over there. Don't mind you, we gotta clean. I got a daughter, so she's a little reckless, and I gotta wash some cups. Bro, I just saw that out the corner of my eye. I wish I would have got that. Can you make it move again? No? Okay. Bro, stop playing with me. Hello? Hello? Can you do it again? Man. Bro, you just spilt water all over my floor, dude. Are you serious? Bro. Yo. You got water dripping all over my floor now. At least it's water. Wasting electricity. Let fucking air in my house. Alright, yo, I gotta clean this up. I might as well just do these dishes too, since I already got water all over my damn floor. Alright, y'all.
As surprising as this was for Jack, the spirit spilt water all over the room on camera, and this must have been really annoying for him. Although his goal had been reached and he managed to obtain actual footage of the ghost, it made a damn awful mess, and it took him 10 minutes to tidy up. I'm sure it was an accident from the ghost, and it was just trying to do as he asked, but this definitely was not as pleasant of an experience as Jack intended it to be. Zach and his family were all fast asleep late at night when the most unexpected alarm clock sounded. The only difference was that this one did not at all sound like an alarm, rather a bang. Curious as to what caused the bang, Zach decided he would go and investigate the room which he believed it came from. Little did he know that this was going to be a huge mistake. Strangely, the chair slid across the room, and Zach was understandably put into fear by this. He sprinted back to his bedroom, but was careful not to wake up his son and wife. When he arrived at his bed, he decided to check the cameras for what the bang truly was, and this is what he discovered. If you were looking towards the right at the sofa, 2 toys fell from it without any human interaction. Upon checking this clip, Zach knew that his house must have been haunted and decided to start capturing as much evidence as possible. Make sure to subscribe because we will likely discuss the other evidence in future videos. On September 13th of 2018, Javier was sleeping home alone when one of the most disturbing nights of his life came to haunt him out of nowhere. We actually discussed Javier's backstory in another video on this channel, but in short, his brother, of whom he shared a haunted house with, passed away, and he was left to deal with the spirit alone. The doctors had no idea why he passed away, but they decided to pin it down to old age. Javier was convinced that the spirit did it to him. It was 3:12 a.m. on Javier's second week without his brother when the following clip was caught.
Gente, se cortó la luz. Estaba escuchando llorar a un bebé. ¡Oh, la puta madre!
For some bizarre reason, Javier could hear baby noises coming from the old playroom, and this made zero sense considering he had no children. As well as this, the spirit he was dealing with never actually made noise like this before, which was very trippy to say the least. Perhaps the ghost was starting to evolve. Who knows? What we do know is that Javier ended up selling the house on the housing market, but has not yet found a new place to stay. All we can do is wish him luck on this strugglesome search. In the following video, we step into the shoes of Henry, a British ghost hunter known for his bravery and ambition. He was renowned for being unable to feel fear in the spiritual industry and was one of the go-to people in his local area if you were suffering a ghostly problem. He had been doing the job for 3 years after all. Now, we actually looked into Harry in a very recent video on this channel, so you should do some scouring around for him. But essentially, he went on a ghost hunting mission to a mansion known as the Place of Nightmares. This mansion was so ridiculously riddled with the paranormal that it was able to create a full 20-minute video of clips for Harry, which I am slowly discussing across my videos, so subscribe to not miss them. Anyway, in the specific clip that you are about to see, Harry was wandering through the corridors of this building when he heard some suspicious noises coming from behind. Instinctively, he followed these noises trying to get some extra content, and indeed he did.
To be fair, the building's full of water. I'm not surprised I'm hearing shit. I'm hearing so much stuff, man. I'm gonna try and ignore it. Until I get a clear sign there is somebody here. Oh my god.
If you were paying very close attention as Harry reached the bottom of the stairs, a shadow figure could be seen in the doorway, and it is important to note that this was a solo mission without even a camera crew. Some leading theories were that this was a homeless man, or Harry was just lying, but I believe that the figure looked way too dark and mysterious to have been a human from the land of the living. That is for you to decide in the comments, though. The man you are about to watch the footage from was called Paul, and he formerly lived a very haunted life. His old house was absolutely horrible for paranormal activity, and the spirits would go as far as launching dangerous objects directly at him. It was not a nice experience at all. Fortunately, Paul was in a great position to move house though, and moved closer to the deserts in Nevada. However, it was not long until he discovered that he had not abandoned his spirit, just relocated it.
Hello? Hello?
This was the first time since moving house that Paul experienced something along these lines, and it really took him off guard. He never gave the idea of the spirit tracking him down any thought and dismissed it, even after his wife explained it to him several times. He paid the price, clearly. The unlucky thing is that he could not afford to move house again, so was stuck in that property for a good few years. It is unknown whether or not he managed to relocate without the poltergeist by his side, but you will be the first to know if that does happen. Hotels are supposed to be a place of peace and comfort where people can visit to have a healthy and safe night. Of course, these services cost money, but if you were the person in the next clip, then you would most certainly want a refund. because his experience was horrific. It was so poor that he published the video onto the Google reviews section of the hotel so that everybody could be aware of what it had in store, and it is safe to say that this may have driven away a couple of customers.
A couple times already. And I don't know. Oh, crap. I know I got that. That's crazy. The phone's anything? Oh. Can you tell me your name? I can't hear you. Can you maybe speak a little louder? Oh my goodness. Okay, I know you're in here. I just want to know what your name is. And if there's anything I can do to help you. Is there anything at all? Can you tell me what it is that you're looking for?
Somehow, the telephone continued to fall off of its stand, despite being well balanced, and the towel and hanger even managed to join in on the fun. Now this was obviously shocking for Joe, the recorder, who only wanted to stay for a night but actually decided to check out of the hotel 4 hours early. He spent the next week or so beckoning for a refund from the hotel, but to his dismay, they did not permit one, considering that what happened was out of control. Should he have received his refund? I am keen to hear what you think about this in the comment section. The man you are about to watch the footage from was called Paul, and he formerly lived a very haunted life. His old house was absolutely horrible for paranormal activity, and the spirits would go as far as launching dangerous objects directly at him. It was not a nice experience at all. Fortunately, Paul was in a great position to move house though, and moved closer to the deserts in Nevada. However, it was not long until he discovered that he had not abandoned his spirit, just relocated it. This was the first time since moving house that Paul experienced something along these lines, and it really took him off guard. He never gave the idea of the spirit tracking him down any thought and dismissed it, even after his wife explained it to him several times. He paid the price, clearly. The unlucky thing is that he could not afford to move house again, so was stuck in that property for a good few years. It is unknown whether or not he managed to relocate without the poltergeist by his side, but you will be the first to know if that does happen. On a random Tuesday evening, Sabin, a young Muslim woman, was sitting on her sofa when an absolutely insane 2 minutes happened. She had just returned from mosque and was a woman who followed her religion deeply, claiming to have never sinned since becoming serious about it. Regardless of her good deeds towards Allah though, she somehow still managed to be haunted. Have a watch.
Is dit allemaal? Ik vind het helemaal niet leuk. Ik ben dus helemaal alleen. Oh, dat ding. Oké, ik ga hier weg. Oh, er gebeurt allemaal te veel in mijn huis.
All sorts of objects started to move around in the room, but the main one was her lucky goblet. Sabin only allowed herself to drink from the goblet when she knew she was about to do something dangerous in order to grant herself an advantage. The fact that the ghost tampered with this was very concerning for her. After ending the video, she prayed to Allah for protection, to which it was granted, and she never experienced anything of this sort. Could it have been a test, or was this some sort of demon genuinely attempting to torment her? I guess we, or she, will never know the answer for sure. Now, we have looked into the life of Arash Afnan before, and he is an Indian man who decided to create a TikTok account to document his paranormal findings. He first encountered something from the paranormal world a few years back, when some doors started to open and close by themselves, and since then, it has only gone downhill. I guess he has amassed a decent social media following from it though, so he can hardly complain. The video that you are about to see from him took place 7 months ago and was filmed in the perspective of Arash's son, Raj. Raj was made fun of at school for being very feminine, mainly because of his ownership of a pink teddy which he was attached to a lot, so much that he would have a tantrum after losing it. One day, this day came. Raj lost his pink teddy, and once he figured this out, he tried to find it.
Bising. Nak tidur pun tak boleh. Hantu punya setan. Maning kau sorok? Kau lapar nasi ke setan? Bisinglah lagi. Ada 2 setan? Duduk diamlah! Apa lagi ni?
When he realized his teddy was missing, things around the house started to shake vigorously, as if the spirit was trying its hardest to freak the poor kid out, and it succeeded. The kid, after getting over the shaking, looked under the sink and found his teddy before closing the cupboard and getting ready to confront his father as to why it was there. However, when he opened it again, the teddy had vanished. Off camera, the duo searched the entire house for the teddy without success until Arash checked the under-sink cabinet again, where he actually found the teddy. After what happened next though, this was not considered a victory. Strangely, Raj took the teddy and slowly walked into the dining room before sitting down and holding the teddy tightly. This was super odd behavior from the child according to Arash, because he was a very bubbly person, and when he was mad, he definitely expressed it. Arash spoke to Raj for a solid 5 minutes, trying to figure out what was wrong with him, and he barely blinked. It took that whole time before Raj snapped out of this trance, and claimed that he had no clue what went on. He had been possessed. Chris and Mick were and still are a duo who take pride in their excellent chemistry. When together, they can make the moodiest person on the planet laugh, and they even manage to maintain that brilliant feeling when they experienced some spiritual activities on camera. One of their most requested videos was to visit a church stealth camp which was supposedly haunted despite nobody knowing the reason why. With their bravery and values to provide top-tier content, they decided to visit the church, and what happened was weird.
Go on then, Mick. Now you don't fall over, son.
I thought you were going to say it was locked there. I would have shit me pants. I'd have had skidamiddies all over me uni bedundies. There we go, folks. Yeah. Well, like I say, I'm not scared, and I'm not one of these people that get a shiver up the spine or things like this. To me, it's not spooky, but we'll still have a look around. For you legends that like to watch the Blot Outdoor Show. Alright, isn't it? Cool. Cool place. I wouldn't want to sit here all night like, but like I say, guys, it's been abandoned since the 1970s. Obviously, they must leave the door open now and again. The fuck? The fuck's it? I'm out of here. Sorry, guys. What the fuck was that? Oh, I think Mick's filled his pants. I get skinamadidders on my bedundies. I think Mick's got a lug of a jugger in his only pedandies.
I've got a hole in them, like, hole. Nice big hole.
That's the fastest I've ever seen you run. It was probably, do you know what it probably was? It was just like, it's open, you've probably got like a birds getting in and something's being knocked off or something. I don't know. That's what I'm telling myself, guys. But yeah, like I said, things like that don't normally scare me, but when you hear a bang somewhere like that, and I've been reading about how spooky the place is supposed to be, but I've convinced Mick to have one more look inside this so-called haunted church. Go on then, Schmick.
Nah, you ain't got closer.
Well then. Oh well, I'll go on first. Right, Mick, you follow me. I think the first time we came in, I think we just let our imaginations run away with ourselves, which is easy when you're in the pitch black and you're having a few beers. Just leave that door open, Mick. I've got to be honest, it does have a little bit of a spooky kind of feel to it. I think that's because what we've been reading, and it's genuine, it has been abandoned since the 1970s. By abandoned, I mean it doesn't get used anymore for like services or burials or anything like that. But yeah, now that we've came in and we've stood here for a few seconds, I think kind of chilled now. Are you chilled out? Are you chilled out, Mick? Yeah. However, let's have a mooch around. I said to Mick, we'll have one more look in here and then later on we'll do the room review. Little Mick says, well, we'll have a look around, but we'll do the room review back over there. I've kind of had to persuade him to come back in. I mean, I can see why people come here, Mick, and do the old spooky, ghostly tours and look for the paranormal readings and stuff like that. It's not my kind of thing. My kind of thing is sitting in a tent and getting mangled, spangled, and totally grim crankled. But each to their own, wherever your hobby is. Let's have a look over here, Schmick. Oh, here we go. We've got a photograph of young Chris here. Oh, sorry guys. It's not young Chris. Apologies. It's Jesus Christ. Our the sun.
Milky buttons there.
Yeah, milky buttons. What? What the What? Mix away. Ooh, shut that door. What the?
The duo were the only two people in the church, and the fact they managed to make a situation of that seriousness funny was very respectable. Nothing in the church fell, but one of the big doors slammed shut, and do note that it was not a windy night. In Puerto Rico, there was once a hotel which was called the DuPont Plaza, and it operated in the 1980s. In 1986, the hotel caught fire, and this was no mild flame. It was a huge one, which unfortunately ended a lot of lives, and the blame was pinned onto 3 employees. Despite the people inside the building being cooked, the building itself was surprisingly still standing, and in between, then and now, has been sold onto new owners several times. Its current state is the Marriott Stellaris, still operating as a hotel, but after the following clip emerged, I doubt they will pull many customers. It was captured using a security camera at 3 a.m. and showcased a guard of the hotel walking around one of the least wandered areas of the hotel. She expected this to be a normal stroll, as she was unaware of the hotel's horrible past. Little did she know that she was in for a real treat. She claimed that someone or something tugged at her hair, and by instinct, she assumed that it was one of her co-workers messing around with her, as banter was huge with the staff. After watching the video back, though, she found out that this was not in fact the case. In the upcoming clip, the woman of the family was walking around the house and keeping her baby tight for good reason. You see, she was performing a sage, a method which is supposed to banish evil spirits from somebody's home. She had walked around the entire house and saw no sign of the entity's presence. However, once she reached the kitchen, things managed to take a turn for the worst.
Leave us alone, once and for all. Leave this house. We're sick of you messing with us. Sick of you messing with us.
Whilst the woman and the baby were in the room, the trash can fell over, and just as she was leaving, some sort of basket followed. None of these collapses were nearly as shocking as what happened when they complete their exit from the room though. Immediately, all sorts of objects started to act up, and the spirit was making its distaste towards the saging very clear. This is the only piece of footage we received, so the rest of the lore is unknown. We do advise you to send all of your luck over to this family though, especially considering the fact that they have a baby. Gamers can be known to make some of the cringiest jokes in history, and that is not a targeted attack. I am a gamer too. Sometimes the moment for a joke of that nature is more than suitable. On the other hand, there are times where they do way more harm than good. The Asian man in the video that I am about to show you decided to refer to a spirit that he was searching for as an NPC, which for you non-gamers refers to a non-playable character. It became clear fast that the spirit did not like this reference, as it took it upon itself to give the man a reaction.
有人吗？里边？哎，梅西啊，我的老板。哎呦我操你妈！哎呦我操你妈！哎，出来！出来！出来来！出来！是谁？谁？谁？
From the bottom of the curtain, we could see that there was movement on the other side, and like any normal person, the man behind the camera wanted to look behind it and gave in to his urges. He seemingly chased whatever was behind the curtain for a good minute before giving up and realizing that he was chasing nothingness. Just to clarify, when I say giving up, I mean he stopped chasing. He did not stop exploring the property, and this decision is what led him to the next clip. He came across the bathroom and gave it a thorough search. The most vital conclusion from this search was that nothing else was in the room with him. After his search, he explained that his worst fear at that moment was the mirror, and his fear was proven valid just a moment later.
有人吗？我操你妈呀！ 这写什么字儿？最怕的是惊人。我操你！ 去你妈的！哎，我操你妈！我操你妈，脚丫子！
If you look at the gap at the bottom of the door for the bathroom stall, a pair of legs could be seen standing there, and as I previously mentioned, the room was clear. This was a horrifying apparition, but nowhere near as terrifying as the one in the next clip. On April 12th of 2024, a man and his dog were going on a beautiful walk through the park during the peak of spring. The owner of the dog, Rob, explained that the pet loved walks especially during that time of the year because of how perfect the conditions were for walking. Not too warm, yet not too cold, as I said. Perfect. The park added onto the conditions, as it was a gorgeous view for the duo to look out onto, and no matter what season it was, they always paused for a few minutes at the same exact checkpoint. Over all of their years walking together though, they never witnessed anything quite as alarming as this. What was usually a peaceful checkpoint became a spooky one when Rob and his dog spotted some sort of spirit apparition floating above the lake. At first, Rob did not see this spirit and wondered why his dog felt so uncomfortable at such a familiar location. After reviewing his video out of concern though, he found out exactly what caused it and uploaded it to YouTube for people like us to see. Now I know that a lot of people struggle to believe the clips that I showcase simply because they do not trust me. However, this next piece of footage came from Channel 5. Channel 5 is a reliable British broadcast, and one of its most popular shows involves police adventures, where we can see what the jobs of law enforcement are really like. Most episodes include high-action, thrilling chases where criminals are speeding away from the police at 100 miles per hour. The one that you are about to see was much different, and I am going to show you why. Take a look.
The runaway carves across the carriageway.
Stand by, it's going off.
And calls it a day.
You running?
You're nicked. Or you should be.
Where is he?
There's no one outside, no one behind the wheel, and the van is locked.
Where's it gone?
It's magic.
In the back. In the back.
He stopped to think he's hiding in the back.
There's no one in the driver or passenger seat, and no one's decamped that we can see. We need to get in, mate.
Yeah, mate, I'm going to smash window in a sec.
The best knock-knock jokes have smashing punchlines. But the joke's on Dan and Rob.
No.
Eh?
No.
No one jumped out?
It's a classic locked van mystery.
Weird.
There's just one explanation.
Must have decamped.
You know, the woodland track.
The only logical solution to this scenario was, as the policeman said, the driver must have decamped. A decamp is when someone secretly and suddenly exits a location and is typically used in police vocabulary. The officers ordered a search of the entire vicinity, but nobody was hiding and no one matched the description that they had of the man. As well as this, the camera was on the van for the majority of the tape, so the driver must have left in under a second, which is definitely not possible. This is a mystery that will not be solved, and all we can do is ponder. I am joking. It was most certainly the act of a ghost. The following video was recorded in the household of Sheila, an aging woman who had no real opinion on the paranormal world. She was known around town as your ordinary old lady, always complaining and had no idea how to operate technology. However, she fortunately did know how to record. One random day, Sheila heard some strange noises coming from her living room, so decided that it would be best to go and investigate. Little did she know that what was happening would leave her discomforted for hours.
Look, the light is on. You can clearly see there is no fishing wire or strings. It's just hovering. Look at that.
As weird as this may have been, the phone continued to levitate above its dock, and it was clear that there were no strings or items of intervention attached. Sheila decided to film the incident so that she could show her friends at the club she visited, called the Ladies' Circle, who offered help to those who were struggling. To her dismay, though, they all laughed at her, and she was nicknamed Psycho Sheila. After being given this nickname, Sheila's self-esteem deflated, and she decided to leave the Ladies' Circle despite it doing so much for her. She informed her only child that she made that decision, and feeling sympathetic, the daughter visited her mother for a weekend. It was during this visit that the phone-moving spirit gained another witness, this time a much more believable one.
Don't touch it. You don't have to touch it.
No.
Whilst Sheila's daughter was using the restroom, the phone started to levitate again, and she called her daughter back into the room to make sure that she saw what was happening. Suddenly, the phone dropped back down as if the spirit was attempting to hide itself from another witness, but it was too late. Throughout the following week, the duo visited several churches hoping that they would be able to help them overcome the haunting, and only one followed through. A priest was sent to Sheila's house and successfully banished the poltergeist which was haunting it, and Sheila was readmitted into the Ladies' Circle, where they all apologized to her for their horrible actions. The lesson of the story was that even the darkest and most spooky of stories can have a positive ending. Mikhailo was a young ghost hunter who had only recently found the business in his interests. He grew up for most of his life being told that he was useless to society because he failed every single one of his exams and was unemployed. Regardless of such a horrible start to his life, the paranormal world saved him. When he was just 11 years old, he experienced his first haunting, and being honest with himself, he was terrified of it. The back of his mind, on the other hand, found the encounter interesting, and he has been wanting more of them ever since. The upcoming clip comes from his second mission as a ghost hunter, where he was hired to search an abandoned house for paranormal activity. A family of 4 were all murdered together in the household 3 years before the recording, and this is why the council believed it to be haunted. They just needed Mikhailo to certify this for them. On his mission, he found several leads that showed just how haunted the house was, and here was the first one. Strangely, the mirror started shaking aggressively, and it was very obvious that this was happening without any kind of human interaction. Nothing could be seen on screen that could have possibly caused such a shake for such a drastic period, which led Mikhailo to include this sighting in his end of mission report. But this was not the only thing he found. To be precise, he was only just getting started.
Так, нужно включить ЭГФ. Так, по ЭГФ тишина. Грохот продолжается. Дай мне знак.
Shortly after beckoning the ghost to give him a sign of its presence, a straw shelf with a teddy on it started to shuffle its way in front of the doorway. It is extremely rare for a spirit to comply so easily with people, especially a ghost hunter who is usually there to exterminate them. So there was a lot of speculation regarding this capture. People believed that the family who haunted the place wanted to be banished so that they could be set free from the four walls. However, others think there was a much darker reason for their obligation to obey. Perhaps they were incentivizing Mikhailo to continue his mission so that they could haunt him further. If that was the case, then they had a huge success. The shaking of this portrait continued for around 15 minutes after the recording ended, and Mikhailo finally had enough evidence of a ghost to be paid for his work. He imported all of the clips into a folder which he shared with the client and posted them to YouTube so that he could gain more employers through that platform. It is safe to say that his career will only go up from here, and if he posts anything else, then I will be sure to share it with you, so make sure to subscribe. On October the 6th of 2011, a man who lived on his own was making himself some dinner when he suddenly felt the urge to go into the living room. This urge was one that he could not and still cannot explain, but what he does know is that he could not stop himself from going there, and only time would tell why. Once he entered the room, he explained that he felt cold and unwelcome, which was not a usual feeling in his house. Little did he know that it was a spiritual presence causing this.
Holy crap. Holy crap. I can't believe I just got that on film. Oh my, holy crap. That was just moving a little bit there for me touching it, but I don't believe that just happened. I didn't think I'd get anything. Well, I'm definitely going to be filming this area more. If there's anyone out there, please shut this door again. If there's anybody at all out there, please just shut the door. Move it just a little bit, just to show us that you're truly out there. Come on, do it one more time. One more. That's all I'm asking for. Just one more time, please. Show us that you're here. Show us your presence. Just move the door. Please, show us you're here. Show us that you're present. Let your presence be known by shutting this door one more time. I know you already did it, but please do it again. I don't know if I'm gonna get it again. Can't believe I just saw that. If you're out there, please shut this door one more time. That's all I'm asking. Just oh my god. Holy shit. Okay, I'm getting seriously freaked out right now. I'll show you guys one more time that there's, oh my, holy crap. There's nothing even attached here.
Now it took a lot of begging, but eventually the ghost made its mind up and closed the door a second time. What made this time more impactful was that the man had shown the audience that the door had no strings attached beforehand, so it was clear that this must have been done by a spirit. As well as this, both sides of the door were on camera, so unlike the first time around, there were no accusations of there being a human on the other side. Now it is safe to say that humans can cook, and that is an undeniable fact. Just look at the things that we have made over the years. From paella to curry, the dishes go on, and cultures are very proud of what they have produced. However, we are not the only things that can operate in a kitchen. For some reason, ghost sightings in the kitchen have spiked massively over the last few years, and it is a trend that has come with no explanation. The video that you are about to watch follows said trend perfectly and is disturbing to say the least. Have a watch.
What the fuck was that all about, dude? What the fuck is that all about? I've been trying to fast. Are you telling me that I need to eat? No. Let me try to be healthy. I'm not even...
Somehow the pan moved on its own accord and went completely out of position. It was not like one of those regular collapses where a pan loses balance though. It was unnatural, like something invisible was moving it. To make things even stranger, the teenager who filmed the video, Callum, felt no different than he usually did. A ghostly presence is usually accompanied by a cold feeling, or at least some unease, but not this one, which made the case ever more mysterious. The audience of the clip have been debating for some time now about what kind of spirit this was, and I am sure that the comments in this video can conclude this scenario once and for all, so feel free to share your opinions. If you had to place a bet on where a spirit would be most likely to appear, what would you put your paycheck on? A basement? A graveyard? A historic battlefield? After I introduce you to the next piece of footage, you will not choose any of those options. You will choose a hospital. A nurse was passing by the security room during one of her breaks when she decided that she would have a nosy on how her patient, Dominic, was doing with the doctor. She took out her keys and entered the room full to the brim with monitors showing every room in the hospital, but it was one specific one which managed to catch her eye, and what it showcased was odd, to put it lightly. A weird black shadow figure could be seen standing by one of the hospital beds, and at first the nurse thought it was just a visitor of the patient. However, this would shortly be debunked. Defying all laws of physics, the nurse and the doctor operating in the surgery walked right through the shadow, confirming that they could not see it nor knew of its presence. This was when the nurse thought it was a ghost. Using her radio, she managed to get in touch with the nurse in the room and asked him whether he could see another person around the hospital bed. His answer was horrible. He could not. To make matters worse, the spirit disappeared after this sentence and never came back again. Ghost experiences are far more common than most people think, but physical apparitions, on the other hand, not so much. An apparition describes when a ghost shows itself to the human eye in physical form, and these sightings are some of the most terrifying things that a human can experience. They can often look like morphed versions of humans, or on other occasions, demons, so it is safe to say that it is good that they are rare. Unfortunately though, some people do have to experience them, and this was the case for the business owner in the following video. She was at her local storage facility placing her stock into the safety of her unit when she noticed something shocking. This sighting was so disturbing that she explained afterwards how she switched facilities immediately and vowed to never return again, even going as far as giving the place 7 half-star reviews on her alt accounts. Think she went too far? Let me know in the comments after you watch it for yourself.
Okay, so I've just put some of my stuff in storage, but I wanted to show you guys this place, and I'm not going down there because the lights are broken and it's creepy as fuck. If I just take you up here, look at this. It is so creepy. It all looks the same. I've got lost in here so many bloody times because of how similar it all looks. Honestly, it's kind of giving me backroom vibes. I mean, just
The figure looked very unhuman-like, and it made perfect sense why Riley believed that it was the apparition of a paranormal being. She went on to show the video to almost everyone she knew, but as expected, they were not believers, and provided as many quote-unquote logical solutions as they possibly could. Riley was not having any of it though. What she saw was a spirit, and nobody was about to alter her opinions. On a cold and stormy Tuesday night, Alyssa was sleeping very well. She had endured a long and tiresome day at work, so she deserved all of the rest she could get. But sometimes in life, people do not get what they deserve. And this turned out to be the case in the following clip. The clock struck 3 a.m. and Alyssa was woken up by some strange sounds coming from her door. Anxious, she peeked around the corner to see if anyone was standing there, and what she saw was not what she wished to see. To her dismay, a strange, cloudy figure could be seen at the door, and the noises continued to happen. Alyssa's breathing became heavy, and she wanted nothing more than to be out of this horrible situation. The problem was, she could not escape and endured the noise for the entire night. The following video was an extremely unsettling one, and for different reasons than usual. Typically on this channel, the reactions to spirits that we watch are full of fear and fright. But the one that I am about to show to you, much different. It took place in a dude's kitchen, and he was simply recording a video for an Instagram story when one of the most unexpected things happened, which made it go viral.
So I know at this point this goes without saying, but I should not drink anymore. I went a whole fucking while without drinking. Alcohol, and like I was like, hey, let me relax, drink some fucking White Claws, get white girl wasted and all that other shit, and it started happening again. And this isn't like, I mean, it's not news or anything. I figured it's because I drink.
Mid-speech, his protein powder fell to the shelf below its resting spot, which was very odd. What made this clip ever more disturbing, though, was the fact that the boy behind the camera only gave it a pause for a reaction and didn't do anything else. Quite a unique reaction to a unique experience, I must say. Mario was a third-generation Latin American whose grandparents had migrated from Mexico in search of greener pastures back in the 1950s, a few years after the war. He had heard his abuela tell crazy stories of El Cucuy, La Llorona, and numerous others like that. For some reason, he wasn't scared like his other siblings were. Instead, he was much more interested in the weird and strange things his abuela did at the back of the house on cold summer nights when no one was watching. One day, he confronted her about this, and she opened up about her old life as a voodoo priestess and how she had learnt to connect with the supernatural. Mario loved the idea of this and learned all he could from his abuela. They were extremely close to each other until the day she died. Mario's involvement with his grandma made him so hungry for the supernatural that he started going around town looking for haunted houses and places where he could see ghosts. It was in one of his outings that this unreal video was taken.
Tengo mucho miedo. Me quedé solo en la casa. Me han pasado cosas desde que vi ese maldito video. Escucho cosas. No hay luz. No sé qué hacer. Escucho muchas cosas. Ay, Dios, tengo miedo. ¿Qué pedo? ¿Qué pedo? ¿Quién está ahí? ¿Qué pedo? ¿Qué es eso? ¿Qué es eso? ¡No mames!
He literally saw the chair move by itself, but he didn't even move a muscle because of how used to it he was. It was something he had seen over and over again. Mara had decided to do some antique shopping to decorate her brand new home, but she didn't expect to exactly see much. She just wanted to get some new kitchenware and any cute items that she might find. When she got to the shop, the old lady there was somewhat grumpy and didn't give Mara much attention. She just ignored her though and decided to look around for the stuff she came for. Fortunately, Maria came across a leather purse from the 1950s, some washed-up Levi's jeans, and a new china set, just as she had hoped. After finding these amazing items and being on the verge of checking out, something cutesy caught her eye. and she could not resist it. A locally made doll, dressed in traditional Indian attire. Immediately after seeing it, she couldn't take her eyes off it. Curiously, Mara inspected the doll and realized that the price tag was missing, which was odd to say the least, and went to inquire to the woman on the till. The woman looked at her strangely and slowly replied, "This one is free." Mara was surprised that such an intricately made doll had no price and snatched at the offer, oblivious as to what it was about to do to her life. It was after a few weeks of having the doll around that she started to realize why it came for nothing. After starting to feel weird about the doll, she decided it was best to set up a camera near it and find out what the problem was. Surprisingly, the camera actually caught some movement, and the doll made the tiniest of moves before the camera malfunctioned. Coincidence? I think not. Jeremy had always been an observant person. He was also very big on the small details, so when things started changing positions in his home, he easily noticed. Jeremy had a roommate called Ed who spent his time at the hospital being a nurse. This meant that there was no chance Ed was behind these movements. Due to this conclusion, Jeremy suspected some supernatural activity, so he bought a few crucifixes, asked a priest to bless them, and hung them at different places in the house. It was then that he truly experienced more paranormal events, and it got so bad that Jeremy had to whip out his camera to record this.
Okay, I've been hearing banging for a good little while now. It comes from the bathroom door over there and then from the front. Do you hear it? Did you hear that? I'm just literally about to pick something to watch and I can hear banging on the... Can you hear it? It's this door. You okay? I don't know what is going on in here today. I'm completely on my own in here as well. There's no room in here either. What a crazy encounter. Now, I'll give you a bit of backstory. So, folks, I've been waiting to show you that video for months now. I caught it at the end of the summer, around August time, when paranormal activity was quite rife in my house, which I believe to be connected to a few of the haunted objects I've collected over time. Now, since this, nothing's happened in the house, apart from very recently when we were on holiday. My mum and sister were minding the house for us and heard someone again knocking on that door, the front door, opened it straight away and there was nobody there. And that's the first thing that's happened in a little while. So I just wanted to share it with you. It's absolutely genuine what I caught one day a couple of months ago, but I wanted to save it for the Halloween season with it being so incredibly good, if you will call it that. Let me know what you thought.
This was a full series of paranormal events captured in broad daylight, and Jeremy did not hesitate to contact his roommate about the possibility of living somewhere else. Fortunately, Ed agreed, and they would go on to leave just 1 week later, making Jeremy recover from this spooky day. Juego was a single dad who had a full-time job as a doctor and also took care of his twin daughters. They were 8-year-olds at the time and asked a lot of questions about the silliest of topics. Every time Juego had to come up with something that would somehow satisfy their young and playful minds. However, there was one night when this was not possible. The duo came to Juego with their barrage of questions when they were supposed to be in bed. But this time, one of their questions was quite unusual. They asked about a woman in their wardrobe who always came to kiss them goodnight. He was rather surprised by the question, but ended up telling them it was their guardian angel, and they believed the story, running back upstairs happy as ever. Juego, on the other hand, was not so pleased. After a few weeks, the girls mentioned that their guardian angel wasn't coming around as often as she used to, so Juego told them that she was perhaps a bit tired. This is when he started to treat this as a paranormal case and set out to find proof. One day, he dropped the girls off at their grandma's and decided to spend the night alone. His plan was to stay awake through the night and make sure nothing out of the ordinary was happening. However, when he heard a noise from the girls' room, his instincts kicked in. He picked up his phone and hit record on the camera.
¿Qué pasa, Sansa? De acá viene el ruido. Ey, 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 ey. Qué mierda, ey, ey. Vete de mi casa. Ey, ey, ey. ¿Qué fue eso? Ey, andate de mi casa, no quiero que estés acá, andate, andate. ¿Qué es eso? Escucha, escucha, escucha. No puede ser, no puede ser. Concha de la lora. Ey, 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 andate de mi casa. La puta madre, lo único que me falta ahora.
We know how protective fathers can be of their girls, and this time, it most definitely paid off. Juego actually had to call an exorcist after this event, even though it seemed like the benevolent spirit of his wife who had passed away a few years prior. He did not want to banish someone that close to him, but risks must have been made in case it was a demon. It was something from the horror books. A father sharing a wholesome moment with his daughters, but the ending is extremely terrifying to watch. Take a look.
Oh, shit. Fuck, dude. Fuck, yeah. Nothing here. Nothing here. Oh my god, I'm so... Oh my god, look, legit goosebumps. Oh my god. What the f*** is that?
The look of fear in the man's eyes, and how foreboding the ghost in the background was. Not something you'd want your kids to see. Living in a suburban home means you have a semi-quiet and peaceful place to stay in. But what happens when you realize your home is haunted by a spirit that goes around trashing things and making your life difficult? That's exactly what happened to Donna, a middle-aged woman living in the middle of Louisville, a popular suburban place in Kentucky. Donna lived a happy life, residing in her comfortable apartment all by herself and working from home. Her 2-room apartment was her haven, but after just 6 months of living there, she started to notice some really strange stuff. First, things seemed to be missing around the house a lot, including her car keys, her shampoo, and she constantly found that her favorite bottle of Lynx body spray was somehow always falling off the table where she kept it. At first, she thought it was just rolling off, but over time she realized it had to be something else. One night she decided to put her bottle of Lynx under surveillance and watched some television nearby. What she discovered shocked everyone. Here, take a look.
Anyone see that? Just a normal can. Normal can. Did you see it again? Just a can. Keeps happening. I'm here, by the way. I'm stood here at the side. Was watching TV. Was. I'm just going to show you this. You don't believe a word I'm saying, guys, do you? Well, there's a bit more for you. This is what I'm getting every single night. This is why I'm up all night. Need help.
Right before our very eyes, the bottle of Lynx was thrown to the floor by an unseen force over and over again. This put Donna into an unexplainable state of fear that she had never felt before, and she was forced to stop recording. Andrew was on vacation in Canada, alone after he's just finished a master's program in Christian spirituality at Sarum College. Andrew had one primary goal. He wanted to explore all the possible Christian history in the Alberta area, all the old churches, monuments, and whatnot. He was extremely excited when he found out that there was an Airbnb he could stay in that used to be the parsonage of an old church. It was exactly what he wanted. However, what he didn't know was that the church was abandoned because of the horrific things that had taken place there during the Second World War. He expected to see some of the Gothic architecture and maybe tour around the old church, but this was not what he got. He walked around the building and even took some pictures. However, his woes started when he arrived home later that night after having dinner.
Okay, that's kind of weird. This thing is moving. There's no fan on or anything. This thing's moving. Holy f***. Holy f***. This is like an old church. It's pretty crazy. Oh shit. That's up. Something going on in here. Okay.
The chandelier started swinging and the curtains even shut all by themselves, while Andrew just stood there in horror as he watched the next few moments of his life unfold before him. After these events, he decided to show the video to his grandma, who was his closest relative, and she advised him to do more background checks on the places he visits. Good advice. In the following video, a boy called Michael was sitting in his bedroom watching a movie when he was suddenly caught off guard by a huge disturbance. Apparently, over the past week or so, his cabinet had constantly been opening and closing, so he decided that the best option was to tie it closed. However, not even this was enough to completely stop whatever was doing this in its tracks.
So I'm sitting here watching a movie and my cabinet yanked. Like, you can still see it moving a little bit. Like the thing I have it tied shut with. And usually it's tighter than that. And see? Look, I told you. I told you something was yanking on it. And it's weird because it's been a long time since it messed with this cabinet. Hello? You want to do it again? Are you trying to get the doors open? Oh, I would take that as a yes.
Now, if you didn't believe Michael's bizarre story, you most definitely do now. The fact that the door did this twice showed that it wasn't a one-off event, and there was certainly something wrong with that piece of furniture. That wasn't all, though.
Hello? Is there a reason why you wanted me to open the door? I know it's been a while since you messed with this cabinet.
If you listen very carefully, the word evil could be heard once Michael decided to open the cupboard door. This could only mean one thing, and it definitely freaked the poor boy out. Whatever was doing this was on the evil spectrum of spirits, and things only got worse from here. Michael was able to catch one more thing on camera before the ghost took a break, and it was arguably the most prominent capture of the three. Take a look.
Alright, I'm about to close the door. I'm pretty sure that doll just looked up at me.
Weirdly, the doll with the ginger afro moved backwards, and nothing could have possibly triggered this barring a spirit. Immediately after this insane phenomenon, Michael slammed the cabinet door shut and ran out of the house. We don't know what happened next, but we can only hope that he is now okay. Wraith and his father John loved to explore the woodlands every single day. It became routine for them to go on their nature walks after Wraith finished school, and none of them would rest right if they didn't do it. The upcoming footage comes from one of these nature walks and was the first time they came across something dangerous on their path. The woods that they ventured were quite peaceful and didn't contain any deadly wildlife. However, in what you're about to watch, all of that seemed to change.
Come on, man, let's do a nature walk. Woohoo! Do I get it? Yeah. Let's do a nature walk. Come on, let's go. Come on. Hey, isn't that cool, Rafe?
Yeah. Nice, don't blink. Oh. Look at this.
Yeah, look at the view. Wait, Rafe. Shh. What is that? Shh. What is it? Hey, get over here. Get over here, Rafe. What is that? What is that? Stay behind me. What is it? Are you kidding me? All right, let's go. 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 Rafe. Go. 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 Hold on. Sorry. So let's step. Hold on. Listen. Listen. What is it? What is it? Is it following us? Stay right there. Whoa, go, 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 go. Go, 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 go.
Now you may be wondering what it was that the duo actually saw that day, but if you slow the clip down at around 1 minute and 35 seconds, a human figure becomes visible. It was unlike any other human though. It had a completely black silhouette and seemed to be carrying something along the lines of a blade. Let me know whether you thought this was a ghost or a murderer in the comments. The only answer that lies right with me is a ghost. It was 15 past 11 at night when a young woman called Lexreen was relaxing in her living room. Her husband was out at work, which meant she had the television all to herself, which was a huge bonus as he disliked the kind of stuff she enjoyed. Anyway, all of this became pointless after one of the most unexplainable phenomena of Lexreen's life came to hit her. It was so confusing that she openly spoke out afterwards about how she still questions the event 2 years later and desperately wants a logical conclusion. However, this conclusion has still not been discovered.
You guys, I'm freaking the out. It is literally 2:50 a.m. Do you hear that? That is my baby's bubble bath crab in the restroom. It just turned on out of nowhere. And I feel like I'm about to have a panic attack.
Checks, come on, buddy. Come on, let's go check. Come on. Come on. Come on, buddy. Come with me. Come on. Come on. Bitch, my dog won't even fucking come. Come on, buddy. He's coming.
Bitch, what the fuck?
As if the toy turning itself on wasn't enough to freak everyone out, there's a very important piece of information to add to this. The crab actually ran out of battery the night before, meaning that it was impossible for it to operate. As well as this, it was levitating above the bathtub, which was most definitely not a natural sight. Lexrini put the toy in the trash once she consulted her husband about it, and they never experienced anything of the sort again. On May 31st of 2024, a TikToker who goes by the name of Dude My House Is Haunted posted a very disturbing video to his account. He had accumulated a decent following over the few weeks leading to this day due to his consistent paranormal videos, and this one was no different. As you can clearly decipher from the name of the account, its sole purpose was to showcase his house and how demented it truly was. This piece of content did the same.
Okay, as you can see, it's a little after 3 o'clock, and I'm hearing kids outside playing. If you listen close, you can hear them. But I've been hearing what sounds like a kid in the house. I know it's probably just an echo from them. Over here, see, I can hear those kids out there. These are some masks my friend got me from Argentina. See, I can hear those kids. Let me move in here. See, you can hear them a little better. They're over behind my backyard. Let me move into the kitchen here. And you can see you can hear them out there pretty good. Somebody mowing their yard. See, that sounded like that was in here. I swear it sounds like it's coming from in here. There's nothing in the bathroom. It's just in here, so I know it's nothing in here. I swear I came down right down there. It sounded like it came from one of the back rooms or like in the hallway or something. That was weird. What is that? I swear it sounded like it was in the house. Shit.
At the very end of the clip, you could hear the faint whisper of a child saying, "See you soon," to the man, which was a very creepy choice of words. Children's ghosts are arguably the most creepy ones, just because of how tormenting they are, and this was proven in this. There was also another piece of knowledge that needs to desperately be picked up on. The man actually lived in a very rural place where kids never played. It was very coincidental that the one day that children were gathering outside, a ghost gathered inside. Not to mention that the kids outside weren't even caught on camera. Perhaps they were all spirits.